The Call of Duty League is brought to you by ActiveStat, the next generation analytics platform built with Google Cloud that brings fans, players, and commentators the power of competitive statistics in real time. Presented by USAA Insurance. They make it easy to insure your stuff like rigs and gear, and they have your back.
Hello and welcome to day 2 of Major 5 as players are getting ready to rock and roll, try and continue on the battle for their share of $500,000. Saw Gunless rolling in, all the boys getting ready to go. Maven here, joined by the glorious Joe DeLuca. How you doing today, sir?
Doing well. I don't know, man. Gunless just looks good, doesn't he? He had a nice, like, little shape up. The guy looks different, dude. I'm digging it. I'm digging it.
Yeah, he looks like he's been hitting the gym a little bit. Are we the Maroon Brothers today? You're looking sharp.
Are we matching?
Pal.
Perfect.
Yeah. Usually Joe and I text each other what colors we're wearing. Today we didn't, and this is what happens.
All right. I think we look pretty good.
Yeah,
this is a bit lighter. Mine's got some more color into it. I got a sweater. You got a button up. It works.
It works out. It works out. Well, colors aside, we're getting ready to roll here for our first series of day 2. Let's meet our teams. First, let's check out Seattle Surge.
Fire coming in, but can Prestinni win the 2? No. He does. That's 3 straight. Dashy versus Octane, and it's Sam who's able to come away with it.
On a classic, trying to line him up. Trying to line him up. They were final.
Looking to find a few more, but Gunless absolutely rips his way through the 3 of them.
249, Seattle won! Seattle Surge looking to turn up. I mean, this is their last event. This is where they've got a shot to try and make some cash, make a run. You'll see the squad coming out. We'll see what the boys are capable of. Octane has been frying. Last event, we know they went through a similar thing. They were able to beat Paris and London. Can they get past that point? But the squad with the coach in the middle and aBeZy looking to turn up today, Joe.
Hey, everybody. Yeah, they're just waving hi to everybody. Yeah, I mean, it's kind of the same thing, right? Able to take down Paris in a 3-1 fashion. Next up is London. To me, it's kind of the same old thing. These guys you just have a couple of superstars on this team. You have Gunless, you have Octane. Realistically, their skill ceiling is higher than their opponents. And they've just been winning through the respawns. It's the same thing that they did the last major.
Yeah, and we'll talk more about the search and destroy, but that's where the woes have been. And we know Classic has struggled there amongst all players, but when he's turned up in that mode, they've seemed to find some success. So we'll see if they'll be able to do it. But there's the full roster: Classic, Gunless, Octane, Prestinni. You mentioned, yeah, the firepower is there. They just all year, Joe, haven't found the balance in all modes. Like, they've been good in one thing, bad in another, good in one thing, bad in another, if not bad in 2 other things. They just haven't been able to get it all together.
Yeah, 100%. And even yesterday, right, you finally get a solid game out of Classic, or in Search and Destroy, but in the S&D, it's 2-8 for Octane. He gets first blooded a lot. Like, it's not really what you want, right? It's like once something good happens, another part of it goes wrong in their Search and Destroy. But Search and Destroy aside, I don't think that's where they need to focus on, because if they bring their A game in the respawns 1, 3, and 4, they should be able to take down the London Royal Ravens.
You would think so, but we'll see if they're able to do it. That'll be the test for London Royal Ravens. Could he come out with the firepower to hang with some of the superstars in Gunless and Octane? Can they get it done? But let's meet the team. We'll see if London can do it. Let's check them out. Here are the Ravens. London Royal Ravens looking, I think, to get what many would consider an upset here as the boys come out, ready to get fired up. I like the jerseys, the colors, they're sharp, Joe.
No, they look good, and I mean, let's talk about it. They have the pieces, right? I think you have Afro and iLLeY. If they're playing at their best, they're a very strong sub duo. Afro has been so good for them throughout stage 5. You look at the AR side, throughout this stage, that's where they're struggling. But we've seen glimpses of Paul. We know what Seany can do. They're just going to have to put it all together on the stage.
Yeah, I think you and I, like, when we first started watching Alex, when he first came in the pro scene, we loved him. Like, we thought he was the next big thing in a lot of ways when you talk about SMG players coming out of Europe. And whether it was last year, a bit of up and down, an injury, things to battle through, it feels like he hasn't really realized his true potential. But yeah, if that SMG duo can click, I mean, that's what stood out this year, right? The teams at the top, they've got a solid SMG duo.
No, 100%, and that's where they can win this battle, right? I mean, because you have Prestinni and Classic on the other side. So that's where they can win it and kind of turn the tides. But you need a better Seany and Paul, because Gunless and Octane, we just saw it. They will, at the last major, they will wipe the floor with them. So they need to play better as a squad, and those AR shots need to be on point.
Well, we'll get into more of this, I'm guessing, right now, as we'll get into the game field keys to victory and take me through London, Joe.
Well, you need to win an early respawn to extend the series, right? They're 3-10 in respawns this stage. It's got to be better there. You're looking, well, either the first hardpoint or that control, because they need to win that search and destroy. Afro and Alex must control the pace in search and destroy. 4th highest amount of first bloods this stage. That is a huge difference right here compared to Seattle. I think they're at like 18. So, you know, if Afro and Alex can let the others stay alive and search, a big boost there. And then Seany and Alex, the last time these two teams played at Major 4, the vets struggled. They went -43, so it has to be better here today.
Well, we'll see if they can step it up, but yeah, my eyes will be on the kind of the power of the ARs on one side and the strengths of the SMGs on the other side, as you were talking about, to see what might get the edge. We talk a lot about the give and take kind of between both of those and who can set the other up for success. We'll see how it plays out today. But Johnny looking to get dialed in with the squad, but let's look at the other side of it. Joe, talk to me about Seattle.
Well, compared to, you know, their group stage, the slaying really stepped up. They won all 3 respawns. They outslayed by 45 and 134. They got to keep that up. Octane, the last time he played London on this stage, he had a 2.07 in hardpoint. So just to give you an idea of what it was like, and then keep momentum in control. They won the last 2 after losing 3 in a row. Gunless and Prestinni are the key guys for them in control. When those 2 are playing well, they are winning.
And that could be the big one. I mean, just talking about the search strengths maybe for Ravens. We know the hard point has been there at times for Seattle. Maybe it'll come down to the control. And yeah, of all the teams that I know there's been some inconsistencies and up and downs over the course of the year, Surge's control game might be the biggest one. Just the swings they've gone on.
Yeah, 100%. And now taking a look at the maps and modes, I mean, early on for Seattle Surge, you have to be feeling good. You get Raid in Moscow hardpoint. You talk about AR dominance, right? That's where you want them there. That Garrison control is that first control where they finally turn things around. So if you are a London fan, you're looking at that Moscow Surge, you know, to try to get this going and get this, their ability to extend the series into a Game 4 and a Game 5.
Yeah, I mean, when you look at the map counts, it doesn't look great for anyone just based on how their years have gone, really outside of that map 1 with Raid for Seattle. So if London could come in and get an upset map 1, that would just flip the series on its head entirely.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, if we go to a Game 5, what? Seattle is 0-4 on standoff. London is 1-4, so they have a map win there. Maybe they've seen some things, you know, have worked on a couple of things. Just can they get us to that map 5?
Well, a map 1 upset would be a huge way to do it. And I know just based on their year and where they placed, it might not, I don't know, seem like that lopsided a matchup, but when you look at the recent results, and especially with the respawns like you were talking about, Seattle has dominated there, Octane specifically, and we'll see if he can do more of that today. You know how pumped up he was when he was on land last time. He was fired up and leading the way when you talk about overall KD, but it's time to kick off our first match here of Day 2 of Major 5. Ravens, Surge, Raid to start us off, Joe.
Well, there is that AR battle right off the rip. Octane able to win the first one. Onto the hill, though, you're going to have Prestinni take down Alex, and this is good control here for Seattle Surge. Immediately, they're just backing on up, make sure they have that laundry control for next.
See if they can clear the players off of the hard point. You still got Alex and Paul trying to put damage through. But now Surge are able to get in. I think it's Octane. Put the shots of the top. Classic tries to get forward. The trade up lows back and forth, but the fact you're Surge, you've held the spawns, and you've been able to get a majority of this time, you got to feel really good about the opening.
Yeah, Classic, he's on 4 in a row. Does he want to try to back up? He doesn't have any help Zig here. He's open at water stairs as well, so he's kind of isolated. But great start for Seattle Surge. You have the rotation. Can he find both kills? He's doing it by himself. Now up to 6 in a row. Can he find number 7 and some streaks?
He absolutely can. There's the artillery.
Oh, but the spawn comes in for Seany. You got to be careful.
Yeah, take a look at the left side of the minimap. Seany's already able to take down one. We'll see if Classic can cut him down, pick up the streak, but he's greeted by an 8 as soon as he surges forward. There's number 8. Number 9 won't come his way. But with that spawn for Seany and the opener for the team, yes, he gets the streaks on Surge, but you're going to be able to get some time here if you're Ravens. But I'd like just the patience and good use of cover there from Classic mid-map. Beautifully done. Great job getting the streaks. A little painful to lose the time, though, as Ravens are making a rally now.
Yeah, it's what they needed, and now you see the spawns come in for Octane and Prestinni all the way across the map. This is what you want to do if you're London, right? Control the middle of the map. If you get a couple of kills, they're going to spawn all the way out towards back kitchen. But Gunless, Prestinni, they're able to find a couple of kills, and now it's kind of flipped. Alex and Paul are going to spawn out towards Laundry. So Afro all by himself trying to do what he can, but Gunless there once again.
Yeah, a little drop shot. Not even a drop shot, just laying prone there. You can see the angle as Afro goes around pre-aim, just not ready for it, and Gunless makes the play. This will be basically tied, and now Surge's turn to try and make a run. Lurking water side is Prestinni. The rest fighting around the hard point is Gunless trying to keep it rolling. 3 in a row currently for him. Yeah, he's in trouble now, though, as he gets hit down to 18. That'll be the push in the opening for Afro, and the pinch will come through with 36 seconds left. So they get the break in. We'll see what Ravens can do with it.
Yeah, a little bit different there from Seattle Surge and Prestinni, right? You call out his position water side. Typically, we kind of see the opposite, where you try to get someone pushed out ring over there towards Art, and you can kind of flood them in towards water, and you can see what happens. But he's able to rebound. He finds another kill. He's going to get this scrap time, but London, they'll take that. They've done a good job on Garage Hill, on Kitchen to at least split the time, and now they set themselves up at the Money Hill at basketball.
Well, Seattle up 17 now. They had a good start, but Ravens, great breaks and answers, and well, maybe a fortunate spawn that Seattle left open to keep this close, but we'll see if Surge can now get the break. It's a tough one. They're going to try to get into court. We'll see what they can do behind the streak. One called in. Let's go right to an Astro listening with Seattle Surge.
Hey, money in time, money in time. Nice, last guy time. I spawned long. All bet after that. All bet after that. All bet after that. All bet.
Boys. There you go.
Look in front with you.
Alright, Pike.
One's up open already. Up open already.
Here.
Yo, he's a pocket.
Front. Already TK. Already TK.
Two front, guys.
Two front.
Two front women.
Are they weak?
Two front, one
Yeah,
mid.
they're weak.
Three front, three. Nice, last
I got a streak. I got a streak.
Shit, last guy's P5. Last guy's P5.
Okay.
Close time. Challenge.
Full streak.
Try to help him.
Full streak.
I have open cross. I'm trying to.
I
haven't crossed open.
Let me know if you want me to shoot, guys. I'm gonna leave you, okay?
They're not crossed open yet.
I'm getting out mid.
Zig.
Come and kitchen with you guys.
Zig Alex, one dead, got him. Open.
Take rock, close time.
I'm T-shot.
I'm looking open.
I'm looking Zig.
Open, Shawnee dead. Got 2.
Afro, close time.
Alright, if you
Yo, you want me to streak?
Yeah,
we can.
Yeah, I'm artilling. Yo, one pillars open and Zig. Pillars open and Zig.
Yeah, open.
He's not kitchen. He's not
Open,
kitchen.
Alex.
I got a head marker on one.
Pillars.
Right, dead.
Pillars.
Pillars on one shot.
Could be Zig.
One shot.
Last guy Zig.
Shawnee. Little weak. There's 2 Zig. Give me another one Zig.
Stay down.
I'm full flash.
I spawned ring.
Yeah, Zig weak.
Stay alive kitchen.
Are you in time?
Stay alive kitchen.
No, it's Zig. I'm staying live open.
Outer ring, Pierce.
I'm staying live open, guys.
Outer ring got me.
Top bet on me.
Top ring.
Nothing Zig.
Top ring.
Yeah, one's open as well.
I've up here.
I got one.
Alex is gonna be open on you, Pierce. I'm wrapping.
Paul weak. Dick rock. Dead. Open.
Alex was open.
Open dead.
Nice, good job,
Got 2.
Pierce.
Last guy was new.
I killed Shawnee. We're looking for.
Zig one.
Where'd he go?
Afro, outer.
I'm just holding laundry.
Alright, Afro's push out laundry. I spawned bad.
We should put this on if we have streaks. We should
One's
put this
laundry
on
on
if
me?
we have streaks.
Alright, I'm just gonna play open with them.
Laundry
Yeah,
dead.
that's fine. Good one.
2 more on me looking at me,
Alright,
guys.
there's 2 new, one
I
open.
don't see. I know he's gotta be close.
Let's do laundry steps.
I got him on time, dead. One shot at time, free kill for Luvian. Other guy pushed laundry, I'm pretty sure.
Alright, hold laundry. Hold laundry.
Live in.
Nice.
Good job.
It was
dude.
Alex.
Good shit.
It was outer side time. He's outer time.
You on your streak or no?
Afro, we come blue in. Double in.
Laundry. You jumped
That's
out.
me, Zig,
I'm
maybe?
looking Zig. I'm looking Zig.
Alright, hold on.
One drop down laundry steps right now.
What's on time as well?
He's from laundry steps
Yeah,
right
he's
now.
laundry side time. Laundry side time.
Zig.
He's laundry side of time.
Yeah, is it
we got
laundry?
top
Oh,
laundry.
oh shit.
Yeah.
Yeah, he's laundry side.
I think they got top laundry.
Nice.
Peeking. They top laundry.
Trying to be annoying mid. Afro mid.
I don't see the guy at her head.
He's on Dick Rock.
Yeah, I'm waiting for
Alright,
we can streak here.
Yep.
Well, Ravens making a rally now. They get the rest of this time. They'll take the lead, but the streak's starting to get invested from Surge. You'll see it come in. Classic able to pick up 2. That'll be 4 dead. And I mean, it was Classic in the early going, popping off to get the streaks. Then Prestinni following up a little bit deeper into the game. The sub's showing up right now for Surge.
Yeah, they are. But London's done a good job just staying alive, though. They're only down 30, but with the Street Classic, all four down. Octane, he's going to find a multi-kill as they try to push out towards Zig. And it's kind of what we saw at the beginning of the game on that first rotation. How do London try to get across? And if you're Surge, just have one play a little bit safe. I think that's why you see Prestinni playing there, right around cutout, just trying to cut off that spawn. But Octane, now he's on 5 in a row, a chance to earn more streaks for Seattle.
Yeah, you've already earned 4. Let's see if we can tack 5 and 6 onto it. Speaking of tag, that'll be Octane. See if the utility will work off. Trying to finesse. It gets home, hits him, and nearly the finesse game paid off, but the streak will end there. Now to aLLeY. He's trying to get rolling. The sub's trying to step it up. Well, Afro's had a solid game, but trying to match the pace and, well, the streak earning that we've seen out of Surge, but good job by Afro and Seany to combine to take down 3. Prestinni does get a double through the course of it, but Ravens have the numbers and they'll hold for now with 20 seconds left.
And again, right, it's about 35 seconds that London gets in. It's an individual play from aLLeY, then Afro's able to come on through, then they have the spawns, and they're only down, it'll be about 25 seconds or so if they get the rest of this time. So London, you've survived, I think, majority of the streaks. There might be one left as Afro hit some great shots on top statue, and now they have the positioning. There's only one player left. It's Gunless. The rest of Seattle spawn out, so a chance here for London to take the lead.
Yeah, if you told me you had a 10 streak on Prestinni, a 9 on Classic, 4 streaks used, and the Ravens had a shot to take the lead, I'd probably tell you were insane. But Ravens are getting it done behind the big breaks and positioning. Into garage they go. And well, yeah, with 37 left, they can take the lead if they get a nice hold here. As aLLeY looks to hold down Zig. He gets dropped. Afro gets ripped. Potential here for Surge to break on through. 2 now down. 1 spawns out for Ravens. But there's not a lot of time left with this 20 seconds. You're going to have to think about the rotation. That spawn out for aLLeY. He's trying to get set up at Corp. You see everybody from Surge flying on over.
He's got to make a play here. He immediately gets traded out. I mean, again, there's the lead change that's coming for London. But you take this if you're Seattle, right? You still have, I don't know if they have a streak left, if we can see it. Okay, so you still have a cruise on Prestinni. On this rotation, the numbers are here. It's just Afro who's staying alive in the back, just trying to just waste some time, get to his teammates, and well, Prestinni, he's gonna go for it. The pressure is on towards the front. He's gonna try and help him out with the missile. He takes down his teammate, but that's 3 dead. And now it's a one-on-one. Octane versus Seany in the hill.
Well, Seany's still able to win it. They'll spawn out Laundry side and try to get there, but now Prestinni, after the 3 from his streak, he'll try to get involved. London still picking up the kills. The close spawn is in for Surge, but the numbers from the front from Ravens are here as well. I don't know who's going to win this skirmish. It looks...
This is
every time I think Surge have got it.
happening?
Every time I think Surge have got it, somebody steps up. This time it's Paul. 5-point game. And remember, this is like the best map really in the series for either team. And you talk about it being for Surge. What an upset this can be for London. With 10 seconds left, we'll focus on mid-map.
And now they have the numbers, right? You went for that scrap time with about 25 seconds left if you're Surge. They invested so much, they go for the scrap. Paul, he's going to find a kill and back on out. There's the setup, but there's a pinch coming in. Gunless and Classic spawn on the opposite side. They got to wait for another. And Prestinni, he just, I don't know what he did. He just crawled on out there. But it's a 2-on-2 now on the hill, and the number's still there for Ravens.
There just always seems to be one more player for Ravens as aLLeY Beeman taking off heads. 3 in a row now as they are 32 points away from the Game 1 dub. And what a big map it would be in the course of this best of 5. But now into the point goes Surge as Afro looks to get back in the mix. It's Gunless now lighting it up. Nice little snapback there for Prestinni as well. 20 seconds to go on the point. 31 out of Preston right now, having himself a map as they'll rotate over to ring control. We'll see who gets a final bit of time. Ravens probably need the last 10 seconds. It'll be about a 5-point game headed to ring, Joe.
Yeah, but here come the rotation gunfights, and it's been pretty even so far, but you see the spawns coming in all the way out for Seany and Afro towards the low water side. Gunless on the hill puts a trophy down, and this might come down to Afro. You can see he's going on a wide pinch all the way around. They have to wait on him. He has been their star. Can he do it once more? The first gunfight takes him down. Here comes the pinch. All London members flying on through. He wins another one. That's all 4 dead. Afro opens things up. London now trying to close this game.
He's winning every gunfight. Afro is popping off at a crucial moment. 238 lead. Now over to Ravens. Just a few more points needed. The last desperation push for Surge is coming on in, but PaulEhx has got it lined up. Afro will die off 5 in a row. Just 3 seconds left. Surge will now get in. They only need 10. There's enough time on the hard point to do it. Surge comes soaring on in. Did they get the dubs? They're winning all the key gunfights. I think they've got it done. You spawn a little bit too far out. If you're Ravens and Surge, bring it back to win by 3 in the final seconds. But what in the world was that map 1? I thought Ravens had it at the tail end of it, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, that was a loser's round 2 hardpoint right there. That's what that was. Just, you know, some streaks coming in for Seattle, the hot start, but some mistakes on the Seattle side that allowed London to basically stay alive throughout the game, and London was just grinding it out. And then I thought they made the play. They get the 4 dead, but Gunless with a triple kill to get them the rest of the time.
Unbelievable. They burst on in. Yeah, a huge play from Afro gets answered by Gunless. And Surge get the dub. Let's check it out one more time. This is going to start from the Afro play. So this is on the pinch, and 1 is great. He turns ahead, but then to win the next fight, unbelievable. Then a 3rd. And I'm thinking, Ravens have got this.
Yeah, I mean, they have an idea of where everyone is. It's just, what, a couple of players? Octane's able to pick 1. Then on the pinch, Classy just takes a long route all the way through. They have to look at him, but it's the Flood. And Gunless with the angles, top art, he's able to win all of the gunfights right off a spawn. And yeah, I mean, London, you had 3 dead. You had 3 coming off a spawn towards our side. They just couldn't get the hold on that hill.
I thought Gunless had 2. He gets 3. Octane gets 1. And we were talking about the great play from Classic and Prestinni, and I think they had a hell of a map, and they stepped it up at the end there right after it. But the AR's there to get all 4 after the break from Ravens. What a map it was. And yeah, I mean, if you're Surge, could you have won the series if you lost that one? Sure, but it's a good map for you, a big advantage for you within this series. And Joe, they barely get it done.
Well, you kind of got what you wanted on the London side. Someone stepped up in the AR category. That was Seany. He puts up 30, Afro with 31, but you kind of said it. Prestinni and Classic, their 4 streaks, their early momentum just gets them the W.
You got to be fired up about that one if you're Surge, unless you're Octane. He's not even reacting. He's just locked in. A tough loss for Ravens, though, but now we look forward to the Search and Destroy. It's the first series of Day 2 here at Major 5. We continue on after this quick break.
The Call of Duty League is presented by the US Army. What's your warrior? Presented by USAA. Getting insurance with USAA is easier than level 1. Learn more at usaa.com/insurance.
Welcome back. We're trying to follow up a thrilling 3-point difference in the map 1 as Ravens and Surge put it all on the line. Yeah, I mean, in a way, this is their chance. They're going to make a big bag of cash this year. It has to happen here at Major 5. And what a map 1 it was. But we're going to talk a little bit about online versus LAN and how this Surge team has competed. It's a little misleading in the sense of, you know, we know personally, and last time they beat London and Paris, which are, you know, 2 bottom 4 teams as well. And when you look at the whole online league, that's against everybody, your FaZes, your OpTics, your Empires. But they've been playing better seemingly. I just wonder how far they can push it.
Yeah, 100%. I mean, also, you know, you have that one match loss, but that was against OpTic. He took it all the way to a game 5. They were able to win a hard point. They were able to win a control. But the problem is still the search and destroy. It wasn't a pretty number. It's where they have to get better if they want to make a run here.
Yeah, we'll see if they're able to do it, but we're getting ready for the map too. But before we do, a quick word from our sponsor.
We made USAA insurance for renters who make the most of their space and money. That's why we make it easy to cover the stuff you love for as little as 33 cents a day. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
All right, time to get rolling. And Joe, I know the search was a big focus for you, and maybe for our new viewers, or if they missed the opening of the show, what's the big separation here? Why is the search so important for you?
Well, I think for the London Royal Ravens, that's just, I think they're 4-3 throughout Stage 5. That's been their best game mode. On the other side, we know Seattle, that's their weakness. And I just think for London, you go down 0-2 and then you go to a control, which we just saw. For Seattle on land is 4-0. Again, it just comes down to the fact of on the Seattle team, you have some stars that can take over and respawn. So London needs a response here.
Let's see if they can respond. Start things off on the defensive end. As Surge, you got to think, well, the blood wasn't pumping. It is now after that map 1 win. And yeah, eyes are going to be on Classic a bit. I know they've lost what he's done well. They've lost what he's struggled, but you know, before we casted them against LAG in the final match of Stage 5, he was the lowest overall search KD in the entire league. They need him here.
Well, yeah, I think they need both him and Prestinni, right? They have to work together, just like this scenario, right? Prestinni's going to fly. Where is the trade? Classic is there. They both can play with pace, but they have to have teamwork and work with one another, just like we saw. Now they're in a 3-on-3 with some time, but all of London are here on a quick A hit. And here comes the slide on out. Classic is ready. He gets 3. Seattle Surge win round 1.
Yeah, that's all you had to do. Classic is now the best search and destroy player in the world. Let's see it one more time. Bang! Lining him up from the corner. Little help with the crossfire, obviously, but the positioning pays off, and that'll be a big opening round for Classic. As you said, 3 in it. And they'll continue right where they left off at the end of the hard point. Now let's look at the opening offense for London Royal Ravens. And the minimap, you can see how the push develops. Defensively, a nice stack in from Sturge towards the A site. Ravens look to be flirting towards mid and the B side of the map.
Yeah, and I think if you're looking at this for map breakers, right, London's 2-8 on this map. That looks pretty bad, but they're 2-1 this stage. So this is where they found their wins in Search and Destroy recently. Obviously not a great round 1, but we'll see what adjustments that they can make, because they're taking mid-map control, and now they can kind of play this rotation game as Prestinni is going to peak platform. Shawnee's going to check in. As soon as Shawnee gives that call out, Afro, he's able to peek and find that first blood.
Gunless, though, he'll bring it back. Afro then with the trade. Gunless will actually get 2. To a 2v2 we go. Afro able to acquire bomb. As Octane and Classic looking to work their way up. Classic off the big round 1. We'll see what he can do here, but it's Octane that'll put PaulEhx into the 1 versus 2. 25 to go. And he clutch up for the squad.
He's only got 8 in the clip right now as well with the 74U. He's going to fall. Yep, see, it runs out of ammo. Almost finds the first kill. Tries to finesse. Doesn't want to reload. Doesn't want to get off the audio and, give off the audio. But, yeah, I mean, Gunless gets 2, and then Afro just gets some bad timing in the window. I mean, he opens things up, and he's there for the trade. But he's sitting in the back window, and as soon as Octane comes on the rotation, he gives it up for half second. And, well, in Call of Duty, that's all it takes. It's half a second, and the round can flip on its head.
Yeah, that is quite true, but it's got to be for Ravens. It's a 4v3 you lose. It's got to be painful, and after the big map 1, he's going to account for all of the kills through 2 rounds for Ravens. Now let's see how Surge mixed things up. Classic is still on his 3 in a row as he doesn't get a kill or drop in that round 2. Seany will get that information. He's going to back the whole way up. Who's that holding mid? So Paul's just got... He's just kind of lurking mid-map.
It's just an info game right now, right? Just both teams. You have middle of the map now if you're Surge. Now, how do you want to work this? Paul's probably hearing some of these sound cues, just throwing a shoulder. And they've given up B for the most part. So this will probably be a 4 versus 4. You can see the way Seany's playing. He's playing all the way back police window, just trying to find a pick with the AR. Here comes the rotation from iLLeY and Afro, but they got to wait on that.
Yeah, just don't lose somebody till they get there, and iLLeY and Afro are not here. 4-on-4 retake opportunity for Ravens. PaulEhx, there's the opener. iLLeY follows it up. You've lost the 4v3. Dear God, don't lose the 4v2. Just over 20 seconds left of the bomb. Afro, big gunfight win. Hit down to 29 HP, but able to stay up. PaulEhx through with the help, and the 4-on-4 retake pays off. And yeah, the way Seany backed it up and played it right away. Now, PaulEhx was been mad because they were valuing their lives. They were playing for the 4-on-4 retake, and it pays off. Nice job by Ravens.
Well, and I like what they did because you have Paul with a 3rd sub, right? Like, he's going to get aggressive with Afro and iLLeY. So as soon as these trades start to go down, they have the advantage in this small B room. And then what, right? They get bomb control. And the last 2 members from Seattle Surge have to peek it. And you're running into multiple submachine gun players. So I like that retake. It's all the plan of, hey, as soon as they plant the bomb and try to dip out, we're going to retake that room and force them to come to us. They do just that.
Now let's see if they can get an offense. First time, mostly work mid to B. Now let's see if this is mid to Eskies. You've got 3 people here if you're Surge, though. Utility's starting to fly on in, and they're going to get some info. It looks like they are going to be out of there quickly. It's going to go right over to Gunless, and they catch him. Well, he's gotten inside, playing a lot more aggressively than maybe what we saw on the other side from Ravens.
And they didn't mantle. None of them hit the window, so he doesn't have the audio cue, so he's still looking around and watching middle of the map. That gives them the timing to take this room.
And nade came in like a fastball. I thought it was going to stick him in the face for a second, but Octane gets the opener as iLLeY finishes getting the bomb down. Can they pull this off in the 3v4? Gunless has been here the entire time, but it's PaulEhx that brings it to a 3v3 from mid-map. Now Gunless able to pounce. Classic, though, gets caught. I'm starting to dwindle a bit, and they line up for Octane. 3 in the round from the outer street, and the retake there from Surge. It's back-to-back rounds. We see both squads just get the retake done here at the B site.
Yeah, I mean, it's just tough. You plant the bomb, and you all kind of back out of it. I think you're hoping that maybe Seany finds a pick, but I would love, if he's going to peek that, I would love if a sub is challenging there with him, right? Instead of that solo peek, just trying to play aggressive with one of his teammates, but that doesn't happen. And, well, we just saw last round. As soon as you back out of that room, you're going to have to peek it sooner or later because they could hop on the defuse. And while they don't peek it, Octane just patiently waited towards the street as he finds 3 in the round.
Yeah, I was just thinking that entire time the Gunless was going to get caught, but it works out and they get it done. 3-1 advantage now for Surge. This is what Classic started out. On that 3-0 start, now it's Octane's turn with 3 in a row, 5-1. Seany's still looking to get involved as he's sitting on a goose egg. See if that's just going to be a spot for Octane or if he's going to be able to get a pick.
And Seattle's very patient. You see the bomb carrying Classic kind of moving around. He doesn't see much. And that might be the tell that this is an A stack from London. All the tacticals going out, they're getting some hit markers, and now it's just, okay, how do we want to play off of this, right? Where do we want to go? But up top, Eskies is going to be Afro, and he hits down to 5 HP. Where is the trade? Nobody there. He's going to regen his health. He's going to find the first blood as well. iLLeY is there for the trade.
I mean, beautiful from Afro to get a kill in that situation, considering how low he was. Now we'll see if Gunless and Prestinni can pull off the 2 versus 3. It gets all of the much harder. As Gunless falls, Prestinni now to the 1 versus 3. They'll chow the same angle. He's still waiting. Ravens with a big round victory.
I mean, Afro is just, look at map 1. It's some of the rounds here, and In this one, he's just making some plays. It's looking like he's getting caught, and he's able to play his life. Just some timings that are off from the Seattle Surge, right? You would love if Classic's running up the SGs as soon as Gunless puts those shots in. But he just buys enough time, is able to dodge a nade, and then once he finds the first blood, the dominoes start to fall their way.
Yeah, I think his health regen, like, I mean, right as he's about to take that fight, but yeah, just way to survive. Finesse to get the kill, because they'll bring it within a round now. The last time they poked around A, they saw the 3-stack from Surge and wrapped it out, and Surge have been doing, what, basically the same thing each defensive round. 3 here towards A, get what info they can, but it's a little bit quicker rotation out there from Octane. And they're just going to hit it. They go flying through. Classic, able to get a kill. Prestinni at least goes 1 for 1. Octane already back in position as he was like halfway on his track over to B. Numbers here for Surge.
That's what you want to see out of those two, right? That SMG duo just trading effectively, giving them numbers advantage. Their aggressive play style. How can they close this round out? Gunless starting to rotate over. He's just making, he's kind of going back and forth. He doesn't want to lose a timing on the flank. They're pretty confident that they have both players here. Octane just trying to find info. Classic watching top S keys. As soon as he picks up that bomb, they're going to hear it. But Octane, he's just going to find both of them with the wide peek.
That's like, I feel like that's like his third multi-kill of this search and destroy. Like when they're lining up, he is not missing. Yeah, you kind of said, I mean, even if, I don't know, Prestinni and Classic both die, but they go 1 for 1, you at least put you in a 2v2 where your team's got a chance to win. The fact they come away with that, but Classic's still alive and you have numbers, you should win that round.
100%, yeah. I mean, it's what you want to see from these two, right? If that duo can get going with how, there's not a lot of teams that could set a pace at SMG the way those two can. And sometimes it's maybe a little bit too fast and not always the smartest thing, but the fact is if they play behind it, they play confidently just like that on EC on Prestinni, they can be tough to beat in Search.
Yeah, I was about to say, you're kind of describing what's happening right now as he sends it right up through mid-map, is able to get 2 openers. Prestinni and Classic leaving their mark on both of these opening maps. They'll get the bomb down in a 4 versus 2. See if Afro's got a bit of magic. Lovely little wall bang there through the bus to finish off Gunless. Just trying to stay up, but not. Prestinni's got 3. He's now working on the ace, but not going to happen as Gunless will find the final kill, but Prestinni decided that round in the opening seconds.
Yeah, I imagine we'll see it, and this is just right from the get-go. He just flies out. I mean, it's a timing, but it's a double chow with somebody in the window. Takes the gunfight. He's confident in his play. He's going for it, and it pays off.
Yeah, you were sort of just speaking that into happening. Like, as you were saying, each point, he was just doing it. It was beautiful. You're playing him like a puppet, Joe.
I mean, you know, when we've seen Prestinni, we've seen him throughout times this year. But you know, he's a player that can kind of go back and forth. Sometimes doesn't play with the most confidence. But when he does, and he's hitting shots, he's tough to take down.
It's a little bit different in the setup this time. Defensively for Surge is Classic. You can see us not in a similar position. Prestinni finishes it off. We just saw Afro with a similar wall bang in the last round, but Classic will find his way to get in the mix. They have a 4v2 advantage again. Prestinni winning his ones. Alex now last alive. The trade is there. Surge will take it 6-2, and I mean, that's one of the stronger search and destroys we've seen out of them, Joe.
But what is it this round? Prestinni finds the first blood. Great shot. Classic comes up to SG. He's able to find another one. And then when you have the 3v2, who's your first guy to go? Who's going to find the next fight? Right? And at times, the next fight is where teams have trouble. But both Classic and Prestinni are like, yeah, I'll go first. Like, I'll take it. And he finds another gunfight. So those two are winning their ones. London is in trouble, just like you're seeing, down 0-2.
Yeah, I mean, we were kind of talking about this sub-strengths on Ravens coming in, the AR strength on Surge, but now, I mean, we're gassing the subs on Surge quite a bit. Prestinni and Classic playing so well as we take a look at the stats. I mean, it was like a 2-4 start or something like that out of Prestinni, but he ends up 7-6, 6-4 out of Classic. Octane, though, Yeah, as much as I'm talking about the subs, he goes 9-2 when you saw all the multi-kills. He ends up with 1,600 damage in that map.
Yeah, but he gets deeper into rounds, and he kind of has an idea. He has the info of where the opponents are, and that's what he can do, right? Like, he can make rounds just look easy with his wide piece. You know, you talk about the retake. He's just holding the street. Okay, those guys have to run to me. But it's when they don't have those numbers. When he's put, maybe him and Gunless are put into a 2-on-3 instead, and then they're kind of forced to maybe just take some fights out of position. But when he's able to do that, when his subs are flying like that, it's an easy game for him.
Well, usually when you have a player that doesn't really miss, if he's in an advantageous position, yeah, that is where they're going to pop off. Let him shoot straight. That's what they've been able to do for him in that map too. But let's take a look at our U.S. Army tactical play now. Things kicked off with the round one, really. Classic started off with a strong round. We've spoken to his struggles in Search and Destroy, but he had a great one here.
Yeah, this first trade is huge, right? Forced them into a 3-on-3. Afro is able to get that opening gunfight, but immediately a trade. You have all 6 players here. And he's just kind of waiting in this corner. He's taking his time. He's being patient. And as soon as he hears that slide, he starts the pre-fire. And that's just an easy round for Seattle Surge.
Well, Surge up 2-0. It was a nail-biting game 1. They get it done by 3. Then the Surge, we thought, be more back and forth. Maybe a Ravens win. Not the case at all. Dominant from Surge. They take it 6-2. Everybody stepping up. They're a map away from moving on at Major 5. Control after the break.
The Call of Duty League is brought to you by GameFuel. Unlock a CDL team pack with any purchase on gamefuel.com/CDL while supplies last. Offer ends on August 31st. Tournament audio and team listen-ins are powered by Astro Gaming, the official headset and mix amp of the Call of Duty League.
Welcome back, Surge, a map away from moving on. Maybe making a run, Joe. I asked you, their last match when they're playing Guerrillas, like, if they came out and 3-0'd them, you think maybe they have what it takes to make a run? And would a win here change my mind? Maybe not, but Joe, it's possible. It's possible, Joe.
I mean, it is possible, but yeah, they're doing the same thing they did last time, but they had a look at control throughout stage 5. And you know, I talked about Prestinni and Gunless. There you could see their stats on the other side. Well, it's Afro for London, right? He has been their guy, and you can see it here. And this is where you need Alex to step on up.
Well, we'll see if he's going to be able to do just that. As we're about to hop into Garrison, get ready to roll. A huge map for Ravens. They've got to win this to stay alive. But before we get into it, a quick word from our sponsor.
We made USAA insurance for renters who make the most of their space and money. That's why we make it easy to cover the stuff you love for as little as 33 cents a day. USAA, what you're made of, we're made for.
See if Surge now close this out as all 8 players get dialed in. Octane I don't know if he's taking a nap or he's just relaxing. Some players, it's wild when you take a look, like the difference you'll see in players on stage. Like, I don't know, some look so, you know, they're so pumped up. You can tell, like, it's a major. They're on stage. They're ready to go. Well, Octane's been around quite a bit. He's seen it all. He's won his fair share of championships. He's chilling.
He's always been that way. Even I played with him when he was very young. Like, he just kind of sits back, but he kind of see how both of their, you know, stage 5s have gone. You had a couple of match wins for London Royal Ravens, but how have they done it? It's been through that search and destroy and control. So they've been a better control team, and we'll see if they can get us to a map 4 here.
You know, the one that surprised me and also pissed me off the most? Røkkr, the coach of FaZe and, you know, one of our best pals. I think it was stage 1 final of World War II. That crazy one. He clutches a 1v3 in a wild scenario. We go to a camera shot on him. He yawns. I was like, what?
Yeah, he's just, I don't know, dude. He's just a weird guy. Gotta love him, though. Gotta love him. Just, you know, that's just Chris. I don't know.
I'll just never forget that. It was such a hype play. He read it so well. And
you know, internally he was freaking out, though. Yeah, he was freaking out. Internally he was freaking out.
Yeah, one of those things where, like, your brain's doing one thing, your body does the opposite. I don't know, but...
What's he always do with you when you guys have been playing lately? He's like, I gotta get 40s. I stink. I only have 30. Like, yeah, whatever.
Yeah, I want to slap him, yeah. That's for sure. But here we go. Map 3 is Ravens. Tournament dreams on the line. Afro's had himself a series, but we'll see if the rest of the squad can step it up. But it is do or die time. As Octane finds the opening.
Finds the opener. You have Classic immediately moves up the middle of the map. Well, that is going to be 3 dead Alex. The last one left, all 4 down. You have map control in, well, Seattle Surge are thinking, let's go towards A. You see Prestinni immediately fly off of B. They wanted to get him inside of bricks control, but a couple of picks off of spawn. London, they're going to retain this and retain some of the map.
And there's 1 team kill, but they get the rest of them. They get green control again. Prestinni tries to fly right back into the action. They nearly line up for a second. Now Classic is here for the help. And by help, I mean he just eats bullets basically for Prestinni, but that'll keep him up. Keep a presence here towards top green and A, and then snap him back towards middle to do some damage to help out Octane as well. But they've kept them on the back foot. There's always been one more player here to make sure Surge can get off spawn comfortably and get back into the mix.
Yeah, and I like that from Prestinni, right? Not going out towards A, getting that 1 kill in the middle of the map, because we've seen players, you know, if they're under that tank or they're just watching caution, they get a 2-piece, then that turns into a spawn trap defensively, and the round could be over. So, you know, he realizes sort of the priority of where he needs to be. But off of spawn again, it's Afro and Paul who find 4, and now they've just flipped the map on its head. You see the positioning here out of London.
Yeah, I thought B was basically done. Surge were going to get it, but PaulEhx with a nice individual moment. Now Afro's going to be pushing on through, and he is right in behind enemy lines. Can Classic react in time? The quick answer is no. That'll be everybody dead, and you're so close to getting B if you were Surge, but now maybe the best position Ravens have had throughout the course of this opening round. Someone's going to need to find some picks, and I'm in from the Surge side. It's going to be PaulEhx that keeps on cruising. 3 in a row now as he is surrounded, but the haymaker enough to do it. If he had another bullet, that might have been number 5. But it's 5 seconds to go, and I just don't think anyone can get there.
No, I don't think so. And that's just, you know, off of spawn, finding those kills. There's a couple of scenarios, you know, maybe you talk about them going from B to A, but Seattle, they took that risk, and then they retook map control away. Just not able to really get it done at B, but this is just off the start. But I'll tell you what, I know London has had a ton of, you know, visa issues and getting some of their players over here. It's been tough for them. But I am happy that the last couple of stages we've gotten to see Afro, because this kid is a talent and someone that we should be seeing in the league for years to come.
Yeah, I mean, I know it's just the 2nd year of the CDL, and I know it's been frustrating from everything going on with the global pandemic and a lot of it being online. But one of the bright spots, 100%, has been some of the young players that have been coming in, whether from Europe or North America. Like, yeah, you're seeing the future. Some of these guys are just nutty.
He's just one of those players, and you watch, he has great awareness of where he needs to be, right? Just makes the game look a little bit easier. But in this round, we'll see if they can try to get another the round on the board, but Classic, I thought he was going to line them both up. Unable to trade, so they keep someone on B.
Well, I think Classic's kind of been the victim of the great start from Paul and Astros. He had 1 kill, I think, before that. And on a map like this, and the entries you need to find towards the point, he's going to have to step it up, especially offensively. But I mean, you can rely on this type of stuff on defense sometimes. When your ARs are hit and his Gunless nearly gets a third, they don't quite finish off B in a similar position from an objective standpoint that we saw Surge in the previous round. But you still have a minute to go. Lives at even.
Yeah, you're just seeing the difference. You're seeing the difference of Seattle running 2 crates versus the 3 subs, right, of London. Now you get into a spot like this, and this is where Octane and Gunless can kind of just hold those players, right? So does Paul off spawn, try to take a Krieg out. But yeah, last defensive round, you saw what the 3 subs can do, their ability to retake that map. Shawnee is trying to make a play, trying to get his teammates out of this trap.
Well, they still have Prestinni, and now he's wrapping back. He's really the lone Surge player here. He takes too much damage from the shots coming in from behind. That'll be the opening for Ravens to now get onto the point. But can they finish it off and get the time extension? Who's even left? There's like 2 players close. It's Alex that is going to be racing towards it. He will get dropped under 10 seconds to go. They've got to get on something and stop this. Otherwise, it'll be the same scenario really from either end. And that looks like it's going to be the case. 2 parts of objective progress done, but that'll be it for both offenses.
Yeah, both teams, they could just not get B done. They couldn't get that done. They couldn't get the time extension. So props to the defense for being able to retake this position. But we'll see when those adjustments come in. Does Gunless, opt to pull out a 3rd 74U, or does he keep it this Krieg in the same, for Paul? But so far, split defensively.
The rounds felt so similar. I know it was a bit different from the weapon standpoint that you were talking about, but like both teams had 2 really good opportunities to close out a point. But like midway through the round, whether it was Afro or Prestinni on the other side, somebody got through as an SMG.
It's like watching a hard point, right? I mean, that's really what it was.
Yeah.
There's always one more player making a play.
Well, let's see if Surge can fare better this offensive round. Afro. He'll get Ravens started. And that'll be 3 down. The only guy up is Octane. When you get multi-kills from this spot, it can be huge for your squad, but it's just 1, and it's Afro with the beams at range. He was hit down to 5, but yeah, you're saying what? Because that was, an SMG versus one of the better ARs in the world.
I mean, just some great shots from him. But Octane, Gunless, able to find 2 kills, allows him to work up towards that tank, up towards caution. Alex just staying alive, waiting for his time to fly on through, and, well, that time is now. Afro's able to get another one. Octane, the last member alive for Seattle. Afro's just going to play his life.
It's a good job by Octane staying up. Now the rest of the team is here, under 30 to play, and a good chance to pounce, but the same can be said for Afro. When is he going to strike? And it looks like Gunless has this read. Well, he might have the read, but Afro's got the gunny. Prestinni wins his fight, and then the high ground will pay off for Octane. Players on both sides. He's got to pick his poison. Pistol out, won't get either. 3 will drop for Surge. Well, all 4 will drop for Surge. Gunless was just the first victim. And now they've only got 1 point of progress and 20 seconds to work with.
And you see, when these skirmishes get messy around B, it is going the way of London, right? Because they're faster. They always have 1 more player willing to take the gunfight. And now when they're in a spot like this where Afro's hitting shots, the Seattle players have to fly towards him. And he keep this streak going into the next round, he will. All defense, no objective done there for Seattle.
I think it's like the 3rd long-range fight versus an AR. I've seen him win and have like 20 or less health. But my man is beaming. He has been huge for Ravens here, and win or lose, there it is one more time. Just quality shots at range for Afro. But yeah, win or lose, I mean, you said it. We're going to be seeing this guy for a long time, and I'm excited to see more from him. 15-9 right now on the 5 streak. Did he push it further for streaks? And will anyone get an offensive round? If they don't, Ravens now a chance to take over for a 5th round defense. You got the 1 point of objective. They just need 2. they'll get that 5th round.
Very slow from both teams, just kind of waiting to see who's going to make the first push. Alex is just going to get on this point. There's the contest. Rotation is over, but Seany, he was ready for it. He's able to find 2. Oh, the nade hits it, blows up the barrel. That's going to be 3 dead. And now what decision do you want to make? Do you want to fly out towards A? Nope, they're just going to stay alive, middle of the map, get on the objective.
They set Afro up for 1. I think he just got the artillery. And he's still alive, and he's going to win another. That's going to be full streaks. So you see the movement just on point. The gunny there as well. Afro, 9 in a row, 19 and 9. If he finishes this, which he does, they'll be tied in overall objective. 1 more tick. Guarantee the 5th round defense. And I mean, they can just win the map here, obviously, as well. Will somebody secure a point on offense? Almost. But not quite yet. You still got Alex there. Can he finish it? They do it. We get more time. 2 minutes to work with to get A. And bring themselves back into this series with a control win.
And this is where you can use those streaks offensively if you want to. I mean, you don't have to. You don't have to overcommit here. You can use them defensively. But they're going to try and close this game out. They're going to go for it. And it's been tough, though, right? Because you can hide inside of bricks if you're the defensive team. Prestinni, he flies on out. He's trying to challenge this. As the missile comes in, that's going to be 2 dead. As Afro able to get that missile right into the door.
First bit of progress done. Second, soaring. It's going so fast now with the stack. Somebody's got to get on for the contest. Classic and Octane wins the big ones. Octane will actually get 2. Alex now the last man up. You were a sliver from closing this out, but Alex is just taking down everybody. He gets 3. Octane gets 3, but in the end, Surge stay alive defensively. But they're down 3 in the lives department. And they are all going to be in front of him. I probably struggling to pick a target. Now the artillery call will come through. Gunless gets a kill right as it is called in. Classic actually gets a double as well. They've done enough to survive. Surge still holding on despite the streaks. And now if they hold this minute or if it comes down to lives, yeah, you're going to really wish you had those on defense if you were London.
Yeah, it's always tough in that spot. I know he just wants to close the game out. But I think artilleries are always at their best when the defense is allowed to kind of get into their setup, right? Because when they're into their setup, you know the positions that they're going to be in. But because there were picks coming in, Seattle was kind of still off spawn. They had bricks control. Basically, there was a skirmish going on while the artillery was landing, and Seattle was able to come out on top of it.
Well, I was about to say, Seany is in bricks, and maybe he can catch somebody, but the 3 life advantage you once had for Ravens, gone. Surge now up 2. You just look at the minimap, the positioning from Ravens. They have a lot of work to do with 20 seconds left to go. Surge trade efficiently. They should get this to around 5. And Classic, he's in a 1v2. Just looking to take down both, but Afro, he stands up to the fight. Now 5 seconds to go, and you've still got 2 Surge players on the point. That'll be 3 dead. Last guy is Paul. He will drop, and Surge survived the streaks, survived the first cap of an objective we've seen. We go to round 5, though, and they're going to need to do it on offense.
Well, and this is post-streak, right? You had everybody on it.
Yep.
Well, Octane, he just flies on through. He's got Classic Prestinni in front of him. He hits some shots. This is where Alex almost makes the play, but Octane holds on. And yeah, I mean, I can think of a number of matches throughout the year when offenses, you try to use that streak. Usually the missile finds one because you can wrap it through, but with the bricks positioning, with the ability to go outside the map, sometimes it can just be tough to hit all the targets.
Yeah, no, we've personally casted a bunch where that same thing has gone down. You use him, doesn't play out. Octane carries a 4 streak into this round as Classic pounces mid-map. They weren't able to get a single full point of progress in their first 2 offenses. Now they're asked to do 2 to close this out in a 3-0.
Played a great break. And you can tell by looking at the scoreboard that, you know, the aggression that London is playing with is giving Prestinni and Gunless a tough time. Classic as well. Octane's the only one positive, but that was clean. And now they have so much time to work with. They can play around that clock, just trying to play for slays in the middle of the map. And so far, that's what they're doing.
Yeah, let's just do that every round. I made that look easy.
Now you still have Octane on streaks as well, just trying to find number 7.
Well, we saw Ravens unable to really get much out of him. If Octane earns him, can he get it done? There's the artillery.
They take Brick's control as well. Oh, I thought he was going to call it in. Not going to happen. Just pings it for the info.
Well, the callouts come in, and it leads to Classic getting 2. But now as his teammates drop, Octane still lurking in Bricks, trying to just get a one-on-one. Not going to happen. No cruise missile. Minute 20 on the clock. 2 life advantage for Surge. Seany shooting like that. London keep holding.
You just want to get, you know, some control middle of the map. Keep all 4 alive. Get top green control the way they're doing right now. And now you're in this setup here for London. Right now you're going to call the artillery through. You're going to guess you don't have the ping. But what this does is it opens up green for them to slide on out. Now here comes the battle right after it. 3 go the way of London, but Octane's still alive. Can he play his life long enough for his teammates to come off spawn?
He's trying his best, but they are hunting him down, and they're able to pick him up. Seattle Surge dealt with the streaks well. Ravens will do the same. 50 to go. Seany still hitting. Again, their tournament lives on the line now. They have to win this map to stay in the tournament. Prestinni, though, he gets it behind, and they're lining up. One will drop, and around we go. Afro will get beamed. Octane gets a kill. Last guy's in the corner, and he will drop. Surge are now onto the point. They can win it here with 33 on the clock. 3 players on the point. It's moving quickly.
That could be it. They gotta go.
Showing his vertical. Gunless holding the corner. They've got to fly in. The crossfire is there, and Surge win the map. They win the series 3-0. They couldn't win an offense, but they get it done when it matters in the round 5.
I mean, that's just an individual play by Prestinni. He sneaks through the middle of the map. They're not ready for him to be inside of Bricks, and he takes his time. He doesn't take the first gunfight, so the players on the point can reposition, get behind that radar. He lines them up, and then he stays alive afterwards as well. Couple individual plays, great plays out of Afro. Respawns were close here for London, but that is going to do it for their year.
And now if you're Surge, just like last event, you go through Paris and London, and you fall short against OpTic. This time, I think most would argue it gets harder. Because I believe it's FaZe next, right? That's waiting.
Oh, they play FaZe next? Oh, yeah. I mean, that's just
let me look at it. Yeah, because in round 3, it's Thieves and FaZe. And unless there's some sort of, in my knowledge, the flips only happen when it's the drop from winners to losers. So yeah, they should be against FaZe next. And obviously FaZe beatable. They lost yesterday, but yeah, it's going to take everything if Surge are going to get that one done. We'll see if they can push through that wall. The wall has been losers 3, but what a 3-0 it was. And yeah, you saw a lot of things to like, I think, from Surge with regards to the composure and the hard point, you know, convincing Surge victory, which we haven't seen much of at all over the course of this stage, or really last 2 stages. You see your subs step it up in a big way over the course of the maps. For London, it's been a tough year. It's time to look to the future, though, and I think we could agree Afro is their future as he puts up 29 and 19 on that map.
Yeah, I mean, you know, they almost had it, just trying to hold on, survive in the streets. You look at that round 4, should he have saved one? It's one of those things he'll think about, but, you know, Octane 27 and 21, but who is it? It's in that round number 5. It's Prestinni who makes that play, gets them onto the point.
Unbelievable stuff, but as we've got the players live, it is easy to get right into our interviews. I believe we've got Jess on stage ready to go with Prestinni. Jess, take it away.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm here with Prestinni for your Game Fuel Victory Spotlight. Prestinni, congrats on that dub. You are now into the money placements, and it feels like you guys are just so strong on LAN. I've had so many conversations with your coach, Joey Nubsy, about this. What makes you guys so strong here on LAN?
I couldn't tell you, to be honest. You know, I probably could. I think our effort level, everyone just, like I said this last time, everyone just enjoys LAN more, and I think it brings out the passion in us. Dealing with online's tough, so I think it's just the fact that everyone's enjoying what they're doing.
And I imagine that might be a little different also tomorrow once we have spectators and you can actually hear the crowd and everything like that. So tomorrow you are going to be facing Atlanta FaZe. And what is it like for you knowing that, you know, this could be the end of you guys' competitive series here, could be the last match for you?
I mean, that's the #1 team in the game. You know, it's going to be a tough series, obviously. I mean, every third round for us has been OpTic or FaZe. So, you know, we're hoping we can pull this one out. It's going to be obviously the toughest match you could ever have, but it's against aLLeY, and I'm going to bring all the passion. It's my last event, so, you know, I'm going to do my thing.
Definitely looking forward to watching that. Well, thank you so much, and best of luck tomorrow. Back on over to the desk.
Thank you so much, Jess and Prestinni. Great series there. And now they continue on with a very, very tough test. We're going to get ready actually to take a look at our scuff play of the game. It's going to be none other than Prestinni. Some big plays over the course of that map 3, but especially at the end. You called it the push up through mid-map. That's the opening they need.
Yeah, you know, the skirmish goes down. I think London wins it, but he just sneaks on through and kind of takes his time. And you can see the players inside of breaks. They're just trying to rotate on over, but they think Gunless is the first one. It's not. It's Prestinni. He doesn't take the first gunfight, puts some shots in, and then just finesses, plays his life, buys time for his teammates to get there. And get there they do. It's going to be all 3 of those members who are able to get on this point, get this zone done. But, yeah, he just sneaks up to the middle of the map. They think Gunless is the furthest one up, and that's not what happened. So he's able to make that play.
Yeah, I mean, you touched on it, but yeah, it's just a really good bit of trigger discipline, right? Like when he sees the first player not to shoot, try and get the angle wide. But tickets are still on sale for Major 5. Fans will be live in the venue this weekend as you can check out the action, see who's going to take it. With the FaZe loss and winners won, things have gotten a whole lot more interesting. Who the hell knows how this is going to go down? But you see the link. You got a chance to come to the Esports Stadium in Arlington. If you haven't already got them and you're local, you should come join us for an incredible event. But what a series it was for Surge. They get the 3-0. Some bright spots, I think, all around for the squad. Joe, I just wondered, how far can they go?
Yeah, we'll see what they're able to do, but that's going to do it for this match. We'll be back right after this.
Well, there you have it, Surge 3-0 on the main stage before your very eyes, taking London down, and not only that, stamping their ticket back home. That is right, London's journey is over, not just in this major, but for their season as well. Take a look right now at the bracket here for Major 5. As you can see, we're in the midst of things now. We're really working towards that tournament final, but some of our teams have a journey. Surge, they're going to be facing FaZe next. This is going to be tough. This could be where the dream dies in this elimination bracket. Yeah, imagine. However, it's going to be really hard to imagine that happening. I think
FaZe, we all know what they're like. They're going to come out looking for blood. They're coming out looking for revenge. And not only that, it's also a battle of the brothers in that sense too. You heard Prestinni on the stage. You know, he's facing aLLeY as well. So I think there's a little extra something, a little extra spice in that potential match there. But gents, let's break down what we saw there in that game. I mean, you know, it was the battle of the spoilers to see who could keep going through Major 5, and they obviously know who they would be facing later on. But Surge, clean 3-0. I was a little bit nervous in that control for a second, but they brought it back. Stud, I'm going to start with you. What did you make of the series as a whole?
I thought it was great. I feel like Seattle coming out getting the 3-0 is exactly what we were expecting. It just wasn't basically the scores of the game wasn't what I was expecting. The fact that they got 5 streaks in that map, number 1, and only won by like 10 points is insane to me. It shows that Seattle are still making some insane mistakes there. And then even towards that control, they were down and they find themselves on the offense. They were able to win it towards great plays at the end by Prestinni, just hitting that late pinch. I feel like Prestinni, at least in this series, he really turned up, man. Like Seattle, they don't walk away if the SMGs don't turn up on that map, number 1. Classic going on a 10 streak. Prestinni also going on a 9, picking up some streaks. Like, you're going to need those guys to keep that same level of play, because going up against FaZe tomorrow, it's not going to be an easy task to get done.
Yeah, I agree, Jay. I think what Classic and Prestinni did, especially on the map 1, was fantastic. The way that they played their lives to get those streaks was huge. The communication came in. You remember during the listening, Prestinni was like, are they weak? Are they weak? And that was going to determine whether or not he challenges Tiki. He gets the communication from Gunless, goes out, gets the 3 kills, gets his streaks. Classic after that. Like, that's beautiful. Now, what they did with the streaks, now that's another story. But to get them, that's fantastic. And then what I really liked about the series was the search and destroy. Seeing Prestinni and Classic have that chemistry, pushing up quickly, getting those first bloods for Prestinni. I thought that they played a really good search and destroy. And if those two are on point, then they have a good chance versus most of our teams.
Yeah, and you know what, if I'm going to nitpick just a little bit here, gents, you know, picking up a lot of what you guys have said, watching that match as well, I think Surge are going to have a tough time tomorrow trying to keep the dream alive of pushing on through with this Major 5, because, I mean, just small things like in the hard point, you know, looking at the way they were trying to break hills at times, looking at the way they were trying to pinch, it was kind of mismatched. It wasn't the best judgment in terms of timing and the teamwork there. I think they have to have that down completely if they do want to be up there with FaZe and competing with them. So I think it's going to be really difficult based on what we've seen against London Royal Ravens, despite the 3-0 there as well. Well, I'll tell you what, we have another match to talk about, and funny enough, the loser of this match also goes home with nothing. Take a look at the prize pool and how this is also going to be laid out. $500,000 on the line, and you can see right now London joins the position of no prize with LAG and Paris, but we have all to play for here because the winner does plod along through in our major and has potential to get some of that prize pool as well, but we are waiting for that 9th position to be filled here. Go hard or go home, my friends. Now, speaking of the next match, Asim actually told us yesterday on main stage with Jess that New York Subliners actually have very similar playstyle to Mutineers, which is quite interesting considering the matchup coming our way. Now, how do you think Florida should approach this match? What are you kind of envisioning here, Stud?
For me, the way that Florida need to approach this match is by shutting down the SMGs on the side of NYSL. And that all starts with the SMGs on their side. In that series versus Minnesota, they just ended Stage 5 with, they got 3-0'd, and they left both of those SMG players at a 0.6. You can't have that today. You need Neptune to be that main slayer, the guy that's finessing. Last time he was on land, his movement was insane. It was just really hard to kill the guy. So you're going to have to make sure he's on point, and then also Havoc. When you're looking at this player, this is a guy who gets streaky at times, but when he's filling himself in those 1v1s, in the search and destroys, that is where he's most impactful for this team. And both of those players are a huge part for their success if they're going to try to take out New York today.
Yeah, I mean, I think Asim said it best. Like, it's going to be scrappy. They both play, you know, really gunfight oriented. They give themselves a lot of chances to try to break into hills because, you know, their team's essentially a pickup squad. They haven't had a lot of time to practice. And you look at Mutineers, and they haven't played fundamentally correct all year long. So I'm going to be looking at the ARs on the side of Mutineers, Awakening and Skies. I'm expecting them to have a big game. You look at the ARs over on the New York side of things, and Mack and Diamondcon, they've not had a good Stage 5. I mean, Mack's had a 0.9, a significant drop-off from what we've seen from him in previous stages. And then you're looking at Diamondcon, he hasn't had a huge impact, sitting at a 0.7. Like, that's just not going to cut it. So I think there's a huge opportunity here for the ARs on the side of Mutineers to go off and frustrate all players on the opposing squad.
So let me get this straight. Between the two of you, the whole team needs to step up and perform, right? Is that what I'm getting from
Basically,
this?
yeah. I mean, looking at New York, it's gonna be tough for New York in this one.
Listen to my expert. Simple. Look, all 4 of you guys got to show up today if you want to take this from New York. I'm really looking for consistency here from this Mutineers team, and I think you guys can agree there. It's been very up and down, a bit of a roller coaster in terms of fearing the deep, and I think it's important right now that they keep that fear level at an ultimate high this major. Keep it going, gents. But I'll tell you what, folks, we do have a banger coming your way very shortly. New York Subliners versus Mutineers taking the stage. You see the blue and yellow. They're matched up well. I'm very excited. I hope you guys are too. And we'll see you after the break.
Welcome back to beautiful Arlington, Texas. It's day 2 of Major 5, and well, quickly we're into our second match as Surge were able to get the 3L. We now look forward to Caesar, Skies, Bueno, and the crew as they're going to match up against NYSL. And Joe, I hope we're in for more of a treat than the last one, a competitive one that goes the distance.
Yeah, I mean, the last time these two teams met up was last major. It goes all the way to a game 5, and I mean, for New York, it was, you know, they won with a fill-in. Again, Florida has kind of met with this moment where New York isn't their fully set team. Florida's in the losers bracket, a match out here, and it's another disappointing major for them. They've been so close to starting in the winners bracket, just showing us that they could be one of the best teams in the world, but just hasn't all come together yet. We'll see if they can finally do it this weekend.
Yeah, I think there's like 2 teams that have just seemingly sort of let you and I down personally over the course of this year, and probably that would be Røkkr and Mutineers, like where we just think they're on the cusp time and time again, then they take a step back, then we think they're there again, and they take a step back. I thought for sure like the last 2 stages we were going to see Mutineers starting that winners bracket, but they're just not quite able to do it. But can they come in and get a win here? Can they make a run? We know they have another chance at champs, but I want to see what they're going to be able to do. It's a stacked roster when you talk about the experience and the young talent. We'll look at the quick scope here, and this will just be from stage 5 and how they looked in the match records in mode by mode, and well, everything favors Mutineers.
I saw 10. I was like, there's no way so they're not 3 and 7. But yeah, I mean, you can see that Mutineers, you know, they're all about their respawns. That is where they find a lot of their victories. You know, 6 and 3 in hardpoint, if that's correct, but I believe they've lost the last 3 hardpoints, so we're going to see if they get that back on track.
Yeah, we'll see if they can get it going. And yeah, I want to see on one side if Mutineers can make a run, and then I guess how much this roster has developed for NYSL. I think in the interview, I was listening to it a bit just with Asim, just talking about having to take over a bit of a leadership role more and how it's been a bit overwhelming. I'm sure a lot of players have had to do that in their career, Joe, where it's like you weren't the leader, you had the leader left, and now you have to step it up.
No, 100%. It's a tough transition. You know, he's always been. Plus, you got to look at the fact that he's in a very difficult role as is, right? In terms of he also has to micromanage a team. That's not easy, right? He's your entry guy. He's your objective player. The guy's trying to do as much as possible while making sure we're doing the right thing as a team. Not easy to do at all. There's a lot going on. And when you're trying to focus on micromanaging, sometimes your performance goes down a bit. It just tends to happen until that trust, until that system is truly built with Diamondcon. It'll happen. But we saw in the game 5 when they needed him most who stepped up. It was Asim. He goes double positive. It was awesome to see.
Yeah, no, I'm excited to see if he can do more of that, but we're getting ready. The players getting on stage, getting ready to roll here in our second match of the day. It is time to meet our teams we've been talking about in New York. Let's meet them. We're going to take a look at NYSL. Mack with the first blood. He just jumps on in. A flurry of kills through. Mack, though. Mack gets 3. What a second half of the hard point he had. And there's all 4. The ace for Big Mack. Awkward timing. He gets flushed out. But Asim and Mack, that crossfire so good. Asim, all 4, give it to him. Takes down the entire side of FaZe.
This is just an efficient work right now. As HyDra, he has the entire team straight in front of him, gets a couple shots. Now look how much he just slows them down.
Can he get the defuse player? He does. 23 seconds left on the clock. One more to deal with for Clay. This would be massive.
NYSL coming in, looking to get the dub, and maybe not the roster we expected a couple weeks ago, but can this team get it together? Superstar HyDra coming into the lineup a couple months ago. JP and Revin. Oh, look at this. I like that. A little unison. Ooh.
You think that was a Revin idea? I think it has to be, right? That just looked like Revin's idea.
That looked like
everyone looked
a
little bit uncomfortable except for Revin.
I've never seen Revin smile more. Yeah, he really loved that. That RuneScape things that really get Revin going. But HyDra having some fun as well as he's getting a laugh after they get out on stage. And I think that's good though. Get a little laugh, get loose. Obviously, there's some pressure here. We try to brush that off a little bit.
I don't know. Honestly, I don't think there is. I think all the pressure's on Mutineers at this point. Again, these guys have just been put into a tough scenario where they have to now compete at the major with, like you said, not the lineup that we expected. A new team, it's going to take some time to get used to. They won a game 5 yesterday. They also lost that game 4 that they probably should have won, but they're learning in every single series.
I would agree with you if this was earlier in the year, but I just don't think there's any way to not feel pressure now. It's the final major of the year and Champs is around the corner. It's not like you have time for stuff to really develop. Like, it's got to click. You've got to get better quickly. One more time. Look at Revin. He's so happy. I see JP smiling too. That was incredible.
I mean, I agree, but that's just a fact. I mean, Florida should win this, right? I mean, that's just
true.
The way I kind of look at it. I mean, it's just tough to, you can't just basically take a player and put him in there. It's going to take some time to adjust. Hopefully by Champs, yeah, they are as quick as they can be set in stone with how they want to play. But that's pretty soon too.
Yeah, it's not that far away, is it? But all right, we met one squad. Let's meet the other. You're saying Mutineers are the favorites in this one. We'll see if they can come out and get it done. Let's meet the team, Florida Mutineers.
Big situation. And a nice 3-piece coming in from Big Wake.
Neptune is playing this, trying to bait him out, but aBeZy gets into a nice... He's finally repositioned, but aBeZy...
Just a little bit too much, but Neptune... He's still got the war raging for P2, that Neptune is winning single-handedly. Great work. Again, looking at that mini-map, we know where they're coming from. These players do all round. But these boys have to get through skies. You have to get through skies! What in the is this?
Florida Mutineers. We love this team. They're having fun out there. They've got the talent. We've loved seeing Neptune come in and what he's been able to bring this year. Big Wake following up last year. His incredible debut by being a monster this year as well. The full squad is there, and Havoc, he comes in late, but he has been huge for this team. Are they going to do a wave or something? Oh, I was hoping maybe something.
Nothing in unison, but they all waved. They did wave kind of by themselves.
That's true.
Skies was kind of doing the crim as he started walking out. Just, I'm not sure. But yeah, for Florida, I think this major, you want to see them at least go on a run for, top 4. At least their fans and probably what these players want to do. Because, yeah, we've been talking about it time and time again. The talent is there. What we saw from Neptune last major was awesome. But they need to go on a run. They got to beat some top teams.
Yeah, and they're an aggressive team, a team that wants to take gunfights, maybe gets a little bit impatient at times, and I guess becomes vulnerable to mistakes. But I guess I just sort of view it, it's not as simple as this, but when their guns are very hot, they can overcome some mistakes and they will win maps. Will that be enough to get them through here? But let's get into our game fuel keys to victory and start us off with Mutineers.
Well, yeah, come on, strong in the first hardpoint. They're 0-3 in the last 2 matches in hardpoint. They lost both of those matches, right? That respawn just getting out of the gates, important for me. Skies needs to step up. The last time these 2 teams played at Major 4, he was 5-15 in S&D, and they are 1-6 Mutineers versus NYSL this year. It has been a key weakness in this matchup, and Neptune has to find that better pacing and control with Havoc. Stage 4, they're 1-4. He's got a .68. Havoc's playing well, but you can obviously see that teamwork not being there, and yeah, they're struggling in game 3.
And I guess it feels like it was a fair conversation a couple months ago that it's going to take some time to develop, but you got to feel that now that time has been there, right, for them to really get in sync.
Yeah, 100%.
We'll see if they can do it. Now to our game fuel keys to victory. On the other side, Joe, talk to me about NYSL.
Well, where does this go wrong? I think it's Skies and Awakening kind of take over. So you're looking at Mack and Diamondcon, who they need consistent performances to keep them in the respawns, right? Allow HyDra to kind of go off and make some individual plays, but they need some map control. That's on the ARs. Take the game 3, put the pressure on the Mutineers. Mutineers, as I said, 1-4 in control this stage. And well, Asim, he's got to continue to do what we saw yesterday. Lead inside the game and outside the game. And if it comes down to it, in a clutch scenario, he's got to step up like he did yesterday in that map 5.
So I know you put the stat about the search and destroy, but obviously it's a little bit different of a roster without Clay in here, and there's been some changes throughout the year for NYSL, but you still think that's their big striking point?
100%. I think they need to learn. They've played the Mutineers a lot. I think it's 4-0 for them on the year. A lot of that winning is coming through the search, so they know what to look forward to. But you can obviously, through these maps, they're starting off with Checkmate. Both of these teams have a lot of repetitions on this map. For the Mutineers, it's 4-9 though, and for NYSL, it's 9-8.
Yeah, it's just interesting because, they played them with the fill-in. I know they struggle in the search, but there, when they brought in the fill-in, it was Decimate. And what did we know Decimate for coming into his career? We had a good search player. So
yeah, I mean, right, they lost 2-3-5 last time versus this team with a brand new roster. That can't happen in my mind.
No, I agree with you. But it's just, I don't know. I guess nobody really saw this coming. You saw some tweets and stuff that went out from Crim about, different things with Clay. And, Clay just needed a mental break. But it just, shocked everyone just considering his career and how he's dealt with resilience. But fact is, he steps back and Diamondcon's going to step in. We'll see if he can step up within this best of 5 and push NYSL forward. But they got their work cut out for them for Mutineers. Talk to me about Checkmate, though, as we get started for the map 1, Joe.
Yeah, I mean, okay, well, I'm not going to tell you because we have a bit of an issue. So we're going to back out of this one as they get that all figured out.
I was so excited to hear what you had to say, too. I was so excited.
I bet. But, for Neptune, this is a couple of times we've seen him on this map kind of take over. We saw it at the last major. The guy has the ability to be a superstar. So really excited to see his point of view, kind of him versus HyDra throughout these 5 games.
I think I heard it was like a monitor issue. I think they're working with Neptune. His monitor might have turned off or something during the course of that. And I'll tell you what, these pros are very good at adapting. They're very talented. We get a new title every year. They're not good at playing without their monitor on.
That'd be tough. Or if a setting's off, I mean, you could speak to that. You can just kind of feel it, right? So, yeah, they're making sure everything's good to go.
Question for you, though, just while we're filling a little time before this starts. Like, I'm a psychopath when it comes to, settings, whether on controller, a mouse and keyboard, or my monitor, or graphic settings. Like, everything has to be the same and feel correct. Even my chair height, the level of my arms, everything has to be the same. Oh, wait, in your experience as a pro player, does it vary by players? Are there some like that? Or is everyone, when you're that much of an expert and a professional, is everyone kind of obsessed like that, or am I just crazy?
Yeah, I mean, you try to make it like home to be comfortable. I think the biggest difference, though, no matter what, is audio, right? Just being, well, when we have fans tomorrow, that is a big one, but you kind of have your earbuds, your headset, there's white noise pumping through. I think audio is the biggest difference where you kind of have to adjust. You might not be able to hear some audio cues that you normally would. And yeah, I don't think it was in COD, but I've seen some games where I've seen players bring like measuring tape to basically make sure that their chair is the same height, their arm length. Yeah, people get pretty wild about it. Well, something you should maybe think about. Like maybe take measurements down to what your perfect setup is and write the measurements down. Yeah.
I probably should. I think I saw a player, I can't remember who it was, if it was in Challengers or the Pro League, but basically they took a photo of like their hand on the controller, so they made sure they had the same grip every single time. And I can appreciate that. I can really appreciate that. But time to go. Sorry about the quick reset, but into the map we go. And Neptune, he said, can light it up on this map. We'll start off strong to work on plane control. As they try to work the time and maybe a potential flip, but NYSL still spawning. On the safe side, all four will get in, but hardpoint control, all Mutineers.
They're just trying to find some time, and Florida just being patient, as they should. Get this time, and now you can go. Start to put the pressure on. You're going to see those two players spawn out. They do. Awakening finds 3. That is all 4 dead. That is the flip. NYSL, they got some work to do.
Yeah, I mean, it's basically perfect off the first break to get the time. The next push, they completely shut down. You don't usually see... Okay, I thought it was going to be like a 45-0 type advantage from the weak side.
It's pretty close.
39-2. Yeah. You'll take that as well.
It's not that different.
It's not. But now you'll set up for second. This is where you don't want to afford those costly deaths in transition, and Mutineers able to avoid that and get their AR set up, and now Skies is a beatman. 3 and 2 from him, 3 and 1 from Neptune.
That's just kind of what I was worried about, right? On one side, it was Awakening, who finds 3. On the other, it's Skies just getting set up, getting into his power position. Mack with the multi-kill. It's already 2nd and 1 of the game. But you can see the rest of his team. 3 kills combined. This is just difficult. You're basically just running into a fully set up Mutineers. To see him trying to get on the hill to make a play.
We got about 20 left. And just like a quick question for you, though. I'm curious, like, I mean, we were talking about Octane last series, like an AR. He gets the strong position. He can make it look so easy, but it feels like there are some players that, like, I don't know, play better when they're breaking and moving, even when it's ARs, versus just kind of the patience and setup from a strong position.
Well, you have an idea of where players are going to be. When you're going for a break, you know of an area, right? When we talk about retakes and search, there's only a couple of places that players really set up on based on bomb placement, right? In where they planted. So it's just an idea of, oh, okay, I have to do this. And that momentum going from gunfight to gunfight, where on the opposite side, you kind of have to be ready for it, right? That's when you...
Back. If they don't, they're about to get smoked. Oh, no. Oh, no.
Well, the big thing is just the slaying right now. I mean, that's really it. You could just see they're going 4 down, going 4 down. There's not a lot of trades coming in. Havoc is on a spree. He's on 5 in a row as he's got a Krieg in hand.
Well, the Krieg won't hit for him.